Good day, grade 8 learners. So ngayon, we will be tackling about crust and lithospheric plates for our week 1 sa ating Science 8, third quarter sa Earth and Space Science. So, let's start with knowing the competencies na dapat nating matutunan ngayong week 1 na ito. So, now, you need to identify what proportion of the Earth's surface is covered with water as opposed to land. So, we will now, after we end our lesson, okay, we will be now focusing more on how do we visualize kung ilang bang parte na lupa sa ating planet Earth, and of course, ilang bang parte ang covered with water. Second is, we need to gather information from secondary sources to name and describe the upper crustal layers of the solid Earth. So, meaning to say, magre-research po tayo sa mga iba't ibang mga resources kagaya ng internet, kagaya ng mga libro, na kung saan dapat nating malaman kung paano ba natin ini-name at ma-describe yung mga crustal layers na matatagpuan sa upper layers sa ating solid Earth. Now, for the lesson objectives for the week 1, estimate the proportion in percent of the Earth's surface covered by land compared to water. So, we will be having a specific activity for this para malaman natin kung ilan bang porsyento or sino ba kay land at saka water ang mas malaking percentage sa dalawa. Second of which is, after the lesson, malalaman na natin kung paano magdi-differentiate between ni oceanic at saka ni continental crust. Sino ba itong silang dalawa at ano yung pinagkaiba nila. At saka, ang katatlo, we need to classify the different landforms that are based on their location, on the types of crust. Kasi, sa dalawang crust na ito, we have the oceanic and continental. Iba't iba mga landforms ang pwede natin mabuo sa kanila. Okay? So, ready na ba kayo? Let's start our discussion by reviewing what you have learned sa ating grade 7 na topic. I hope naalala nyo pa yung mga na-tackle ng teacher ninyo noong grade 7 pa kayo. Okay? So, we will be having a short review muna. So, we have the instruction here for our first activity. We need to identify and describe the layers of the Earth using the figure on the next slide. So, balikan natin kung ano-ano ba mga layers sa ating internal structure nating Earth noong grade 7 pa tayo. So, ito yung diagram natin. O, di ba? Naalala nyo pa ba ito? Mga grade 8 learners natin. So, we have 4 layers na matatagpuan sa ating planeta. Okay? Para siyang isang itlog, di ba? Na iba't ibang layer, 4 na layers ito coming from the inner Earth going to the surface of the Earth. So, we have layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, at saka layer 4. Right? So, ano ba ang pangalan nilang 4 na ito? Sige, bigyan ko kayo ng 10 seconds para isipin at isagot sa ating comment section. Okay? 10 seconds starts now. Alright, sige, i-check na natin kung ano yung mga sagot ninyo, kung tama bang yung sagot ninyo. So, let's have the answers. Okay, so we have the 4 layers natin. We have the number 1, we have the crust. Number 2, we have the mantle. Number 3, we have the outer core, and basically it is liquid. Number 4, we have the inner core, and basically it is solid. So itong diagram na ito, this actually illustrates the 4 primary compositional layers of our Earth. Okay? So paano ba natin kina-categorize ito? By depthness at saka yung ano yung physical state niya. So we have the crust here. Saan ang position niya dito sa diagram? Nasa outermost shell siya. So anong characteristic niya? So tingnan natin, ano bang meron sa kanya? We have our oceans, and we have our landforms, kay mga mountains natin. And it is depicted as the thinnest layer among the four. Okay, tingnan natin, 'di ba? Makikita natin na very thin siya para siya sa isang pizza. At merong mga features, mga mountains, mga ocean basins, mga volcanoes, nandyan makikita natin kay crust. Now, second is we have the mantle here. Saan ba na-locate natin si mantle? That is directly below the crust. Okay. So, tingnan natin, ilan bang porsyento ito in terms of deftness? Okay. Very thick po ito. This is a thick, solid layer comprising the majority of the Earth's volume. So, nandito yung most of the volume sa whole Earth natin. Nandyan, nakalatag dyan sa mantle natin. Okay. Now, going lower, we have the liquid part. Okay. We have the outer core. It is located between the mantle and the inner core. So, it is labeled dito as a liquid. Bakit liquid po ito, sir? Kasi, nandito po, ang movement dito, it has that liquid metal layer. At dito na layer na ito, dito po, mag-generate ng magnetic field. Okay. And lastly, we have the innermost layer. We have the inner core. This is the center of our Earth and it is solid. Okay, bakit solid siya, sir? Bakit hindi siya liquid compared kay outer core? Kasi, okay, it has that immense pressure. Okay, nang dahil sa pressure, grabe na pressure na ito, it will maintain as a solid state. Alright, very good. So at least, naalala nyo pa yung mga layers natin sa ating rock. Okay, very amazing. Okay, clap tayo. Sige, time na mag-discuss na for our discussion natin. Okay, now, talking about our topic, let's start with our planet Earth. Oh, ito po yung ating kinatatayuan ngayon. And it is the only planet known to be na merong life forms. Okay, the only planet in the universe that sustains life. Okay, while it may appear to be one huge solid rock, it is actually made up of various components. So marami mga components ang ang tinagurian sa ating planet Earth natin. And itong mga components na ito, okay, yung natakal natin kanina, it is actually constantly shifting and moving. So nagmo-move po siya, okay? Nagmo-move siya because there is that what we call crustal movement. There is that interaction between the crust, the mantle, and the core. So they are actually interconnected from one another. Okay? So now, let's go to the Earth's structure. So again, sa internal layers natin, it is made up of 4 different layers. And each layer has its distinct characteristic and composition. So ano-ano ulit ang ating different layers of our Earth? Okay? Simulan natin sa pinakataas, okay? The thinnest layer and the outermost, we have the crust. Okay? It is the outermost solid rock layer of the Earth that is further classified as oceanic and continental crust. So itong crust na ito, it is the outermost solid shell that is distinct from the underlying mantle kasi si mantle yung nasa baba niya. At so of course, yung innermost, we have the outer core at saka si core. Okay, very distinct siya kasi iba yung chemical composition at saka yung physical properties niya. It represents only less than 1% of the Earth's total volume. Ganyan ka-thin ang ating Earth's crust. At itong Earth's crust natin, it is primarily composed of silicate rocks. So, mostly mga silicate rocks, ito mga SiO2 na mga mineral components sa mga bato natin. Okay? So, merong 8 elements ang nandito sa ating crust. Ano mga elements sa ating crust? We have oxygen. Oxygen is actually the most abundant element. Okay? That is bonded with silicon na kung saan it is 27.7% the second most abundant. Okay? Next is we have aluminum, 8.1%. We have iron and we have calcium, sodium, potassium at saka magnesium. Okay? So, itong crust natin na ito, it is divided into 2 distinct types. Okay? Distinct types natin na kung saan iba't iba yung physical at saka yung chemical differences niya. Okay? So ano yung dalawa? We have the oceanic and we have the continental crust. Alright, sige. So, let's go to the next layer. We have the mantle. Mantle, as we all know, it is the thickest layer that makes up most of the earth. This can be further divided into the upper and the lower mantle. So again, ano ba itong mantle na ito? It is the thickest and it is situated between the crust sa taas at saka yung outer core sa baba. So anong function nitong mantle na ito sa earth natin? Okay, siya po yung nagsaserve as yung makina. Siya yung engine na kung saan ito pong mantle na ito yung nagpapamove sa crustal layers natin. Yung oceanic at saka yung continental crust. Okay? And in terms of volume, approximately 84% of the Earth's total volume is nasa mantle natin. And roughly, yung mass niya, 67% is nasa kanya. Kaya, very thick po ang ating mantle natin that extends 2,900 kilometers deep. Ganyan ka-thick talaga. Okay? Now, let's go to the next layer. We have the outer core. So, the outer core is the liquid layer hot enough to be molten. Alright? So, it is situated between the solid mantle at saka doon sa ating solid na inner core. So, it is among the layers, by the way, sa apat na layers natin, it is the only liquid. Okay? Under siya sa liquid state and it is responsible for generating the Earth's magnetic field. Alright? Now, from the outer core, punta tayo sa pinaka inner. And what is this? We have the inner core. Inner core is the solid layer of the planet under immense pressure at the center of the Earth. Okay? It is characterized by extreme physical conditions that differ fundamentally from the liquid outer core. Iba talaga si inner core na ito. And approximately, it has a radius of 1,220 kilometers. Okay? And roughly, 19% po siya sa total radius ng ating Earth. Okay? So, we have already learned about the four layers. Okay? Now, let's try to unlock some content vocabulary. Sige, maglalaro tayo ng activity. Anong laro ito, sir? We have the unjumble the jumble. So, you need to guess the jumbled words na ipa-flash ko dito sa ating screen in 3, 2, 1. And let's have the first word. Okay, anong word ito? Okay, bigyan ko kayo ng 5 seconds. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, very good. Alam na alam ninyo. So, this is density. Density by definition, it is the constant ratio between the mass and the volume of matter, di ba? Density is equal to mass over volume. Now, let's have the second term. Okay, sige, 5 seconds again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, very good. This is the hemisphere. So, hemisphere is the half of the celestial sphere such as the globe divided by an imaginary line. So, sa hemisphere natin, sa buong Earth natin, meron tayong pwede natin siyang i-divide into two. Okay? So, pwede siyang i-divide natin doon sa gitna, okay, horizontally. Pwede natin siyang i-divide doon sa ating, sa gitna din, on a vertical manner. So, sa gitna, sino yung nagpapadivide? Yan po yung equator natin. Okay, equator na kung saan doon si Northern Hemisphere at saka si Southern Hemisphere. Okay, next, we have the next term. Okay, so anong term ito? So, let's have 5 seconds and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what is this? This is oceanic. Okay, anything that relates to our oceans. Okay, let's have the next word again. 5 seconds tayo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, ang galing. So we have continental. Okay, continental, anything that relates to continents. Okay, so now you have learned vocabularies na paulit-ulit nating i-discuss for this week 1. Okay, palakpakan natin yung sarili natin. Okay, so after that one, let's have an activity. Okay, activity time tayo. So ano itong activity na ito? This is entitled Point on Your Map. Okay, so you can download itong activity natin na ito dito sa ating comment section. Nakapin po ito. So download this one, print it, then do it. Okay? So, ano mga kailangan natin na materials dito for our activity 1? Okay, we have yung worksheet na i-download ninyo sa pin comment natin. Okay, writing materials, pwedeng ballpen, pwedeng pencil. Okay, get your world map. And of course, get your handkerchief. Okay, gagamitan natin yung handkerchief ninyo. Okay, so instructions. Oh, so this is actually a group work, but you can do this individual. Okay, so kunin nyo yung world map ninyo, ilagay nyo sa isang flat surface, tapos blindfold yourself, okay? Then pinpoint. Oh, paano nagpi-pinpoint ka? Okay, ito. Oh, point your fingers on the map to at least 10 times sa mapa ninyo. And for every trial, you need to record that one sa ating table 1 na kung saan ba siya naglaland? Sa land ba siya or sa water? So you need to repeat steps 3 and 4 kung ilan ba, let's say if you want to have it 10 times, okay, repeat it 10 times. And after that one, count how many L's and W's na ere-record ninyo. Okay? So ito yung output dapat. Okay? So from the different trials, okay, you have 10 sets. Okay, 10 sets, ika-count niyo yung L, ika-count niyo yung W. So now from that, ito yung guide questions na dapat nating sagutan. Okay, let's have number 1. What is the percentage of recorded L in table 1? So you need to count each L. Okay, number 2, what is the percentage of recorded W in table 1? Okay, so from L's, okay, ika-count niyo yung W. Number 3, what can you infer from the difference in the percentage of L and W? Okay, so you need to differentiate ano ba ang percentage ni L compared dyan kay W. Okay, so from that, kindly comment, kindly present your outputs sa ating comment section so that malalaman ko kung tama ba ang ginawa ninyo. Okay, maghihintay ako sa ComSec at sasagutan ko yung sinagutan ninyo dyan sa activity natin. Okay? So, sandali lang. Okay? So from that activity, yung activity na ginawa natin, it shows that the Earth's surface is mostly covered by water. Maraming W dapat ang nagagawa niyo kasi 75% of our Earth is covered by water. So ito mga random points na ginawa ninyo, okay, by blindfolding yourself, we can observe na we can hit more water parts compared to the land area. So ito po nagko-confirm po sa general fact that water covers a larger portion of the earth while yung land natin occupies a smaller percentage. Okay, very good. So ngayon, alam na natin, okay, by percentage, sino yung mas malaking chunk? Okay, we have water. Okay, so now, let's work it out. Oh, tingnan natin yung topography ng ating Earth per hemisphere. So, tingnan natin dito. So, northern versus the southern, eastern versus the western hemisphere. So, tingnan natin sa mapa natin dito. So let's first visualize si Northern Hemisphere. Ito yung Northern Hemisphere natin. Ito. So we have the different continents here. Si Northern America, we have the mainland Asia, we have Europe, and the northern part of Africa. So nakikita natin dito, sino bang mas marami? Okay, sino bang mas marami? Yung yung water at saka yung land content. Pati din dito sa Southern Hemisphere, sino bang mas marami dito? We have the Eastern Hemisphere also and we have the Western. Magtatanong ako sa inyo. So, number 1, okay. What have you observed on the water and land distributions? And number 2, why do you think the Northern Hemisphere is also known as the land hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere as the water hemisphere? Okay. So, sagutan natin, balikan natin ito. Okay. Si Northern, si Southern, eastern at saka western. So ang tanong natin, ano bang na-observe ninyo on the water and the land distribution sa apat na sphere natin? And bakit kaya itong northern hemisphere na ito is known as the land hemisphere and itong southern hemisphere naman is called the water hemisphere. Okay? So now, share your ideas sa ating ComSec. Okay, magdi-discuss tayo. Okay, comment down your ideas para matitingnan ko kung tama ba kayo. Okay? So now, let's discuss. Okay, discuss tayo. Okay, let's answer number 1. What have you observed on the water and land distribution? So tingnan natin, okay, mas marami ang land portion sa northern hemisphere with comparing with that with that water, 'di ba? Mas marami ang land portion dito. Sa southern hemisphere naman, kinukonsidera natin na water ito. Bakit? Kasi mas maraming chunk of water compared with the land. So ma-observe natin dito yung land at saka water content, they are unevenly distributed on the Earth's surface. Kasi sa Northern Hemisphere, it contains more land masses compared with the bodies of water. And sa at ang tawag natin dito, sa Southern Hemisphere naman, it covers a greater portion of water compared to that land. Okay? Tama ba yung sagot ninyo? Alright, very good. Also known as the land hemisphere and the southern hemisphere as the water hemisphere. Okay, yung kanina sinagot na natin, no? Land hemisphere yung northern hemisphere kasi most of the Earth's continents is doon natin makikita. Sa southern hemisphere naman is called the water hemisphere kasi nandoon po ang ating oceans na nag-dominate sa surface mismo with a fewer large land masses. Okay, tamang-tama kayo, no? So, amazing! Okay, palakpakan natin yung sarili natin. Now, let's know more. Let's dig deeper. Ano pang ibig sabihin doon? Yung differentiation natin sa proportion in terms of our Earth's crust. So we will not tackle about our Earth's crust. Remember, yung sabi ko kanina, yung crust natin, that is the outermost layer of the solid surface sa ating planet. Okay, it is what gives the planet its thin, inflexible shell. So para sa isang itlog, yung hard shell niya, yan po yung Earth's crust natin. Okay? It is home to a vast range of landforms and landscapes, which are the result of the interaction of various minerals, rocks, and geological characteristics. So we have two types of crust natin. We have the continental and we have the oceanic crust. Okay? Now, tingnan natin kung sino ba itong continental at saka oceanic crust natin. So let's have an activity. Okay? Stop, look, and learn. Okay, so now I want you to analyze the picture of our Earth's surface contrasting the oceanic versus the continental crust. And later on, we will answer some guide questions para ma-elaborate natin kung ano bang difference nilang dalawa. So we have this picture here. Ito yung diagram na ito. Okay, tingnan ninyo. So we have the continental crust here that points this area here. Okay, we have the sedimentary deposits here, the oceanic crust, this color orange, the lithosphere from the continental crust up until to the oceanic crust. Then we have the next layer here, the plastic asthenosphere, and the upper mantle that extends from the this portion here up until to this portion here. Okay, so visualize this picture and sasagot natin itong essential questions na ito. So number 1, 2, at saka si number 3. Si continental or si oceanic crust? Okay, balikan natin. Sino do ang thicker? Si continental ba? Okay, ito. Or si oceanic crust na ito? Ano sa tingin ninyo? Let's have number 2. What happens when the oceanic crust collides with the continental crust? So tingnan natin, nag-collide ba siya? Oh yes, merong collision dito. Si continental versus si oceanic crust. Nandito yung collision niya. Okay, ano pala ang mangyayari kapag nag-collide itong dalawa? Okay, number 3. What does your answer in number 2 imply about the densities of the continental and the oceanic crust? O, yung vocabulary natin kanina, no? Density is equal to the mass over volume. So, kapag nagko-collide si oceanic at saka si continental, ano bang density nilang dalawa? Sino bang mas malaking density? Sino bang mas maliit na density? Okay, share your ideas sa ating ComSec para ma-discuss natin at para ma-check ko yung sagot ninyo. Okay? So, let's discuss. Okay, discuss tayo. Let's answer number 1. So, number 1, based sa picture natin, sino bang thicker? Si continental ba? Or si oceanic crust? Okay. Nito si continental crust natin, ito si oceanic crust. So, syempre, mas thicker po ang ating continental crust compared with tama. Let's have number 2. What happens when the oceanic crust collides with the continental crust? Okay. So kapag nag-collide si oceanic at saka si continental crust, yung denser na oceanic crust, magsabdak po siya beneath the Earth's crust. So parang ganito yon. If ito si oceanic crust, ito si continental crust, yung oceanic crust kasi mas dense siya, okay, denser siya, magsisink po siya beneath the continental crust. Okay? Magpaparaya si oceanic crust. Pupunta siya sa baba kay continental crust. So anong mangyayari? Let's have number 3. What does your answer in item 2 imply about the densities of the continental and oceanic crust? So ito, since magsisink ang ating oceanic crust, this will imply na mas denser si oceanic crust compared kay continental crust. Okay, tama ba yung sagot ninyo? Yes, tamang-tama. Okay, palakpakan. Okay, clap for yourself kasi tama yung tatlong sagot ninyo. Now, let's know more. Okay, let's dig deeper. So, balikan natin yung Earth's crust. Again, ano ba ang dalawang crust natin? We have the continental and the oceanic crust. Okay, let's have continental crust muna. So, continental crust, it is made mostly of granitic rocks. This form of crust is thicker and less dense than the other types. Itong continental crust natin, it is made of plains, mga mountain ranges, mga variety of geological features such as yung Chocolate Hills ni Bohol, si Mount Apo, si Mount Mayon, mga volcanoes natin, and of course, it will create the continents and bigger land masses. Because of its composition at saka yung thickness niya, it is less dense than the oceanic crust. Okay, yan yung sa continental crust. Let's have the oceanic crust. So sa oceanic crust natin, it is mostly composed of basaltic rocks. Itong oceanic crust natin, it is thinner, para siyang thin na pizza, yung pizza crust. At saka, mas mabigat po siya compared kay continental crust. So anong meron sa ating oceanic crust? Dito matatagpuan natin yung mga underwater volcanic activity, mga deep sea trenches, at saka mga mid-oceanic ridge. Ito yung mga characteristic sa oceanic crust natin that is residing beneath our ocean basin. Underwater po ito. So, there is that seafloor spreading also, yung process na nangyayari doon, at saka subduction processes that is constantly building and destroying the oceanic crust. So, constantly building, may bagong namumuong mga new types of landforms that is located underwater, and doon po sa ating subduction zones, doon po madedestroy yung mga old age na mga oceanic crust. Alright. Sige, punta tayo with another activity. Okay, activity again tayo. We have activity 2, the Earth's crust characteristics. Okay? So download nyo yung activity 2 natin sa ating nasa pin post po sa ating video. Okay, anong mga materials ang gagamitin mo? Okay, yung worksheet, download it sa ating pin comment. Writing materials, okay? Kumuha kayo ng basaltic at saka granitic rock samples, okay? Sir, saan ba natin makukuha itong basaltic at saka granitic? Okay, kayo na maghanap, okay? Punta kayo sa area ninyo, sa bahay ninyo, sa labas, okay? Maghanap kayo ng granitic at saka basaltic rocks, okay? Sir, paano ba namin malalaman itong basaltic at saka granitic rock, okay? 'Di ba? Yung learning competency natin, we need to research yung mga secondary sources. Okay? It's up to you on how to do it. Okay? I-google ninyo kung ano ba ang itsura ni granitic at saka si basaltic. Okay? At saka, ito gagamit tayo ng hand lens. Okay? Kasi we need to yung magnifying glass so that we can clearly see itong dalawang rocks na ito. Okay? 500 ml graduated cylinder. If wala kayong 500 ml, okay, any container will do. Tap water, string, at saka weighing scale. Okay? Ito yung instructions. Gagawin nyo ito ha sa activity para you can grasp the concept of the density. Okay? Kasi may measure natin yung density ni granitic at saka ni basaltic rock. Okay? So now, you have your rocks there. Okay? And you need to observe its physical characteristics. So tingnan ninyo, ano ba ang meron sa dalawang rocks na iyan? Ano bang meron? Ano bang itsura? Ano bang kulay? Okay? Number 2, okay, use your hand lenses for a closer inspection. Pwede din kayong gumamit ng cameras. Okay? Third is, dito na, i-measure natin yung mass ni basaltic rock. Okay? Kumuha tayo ng weighing scale at saka i-record natin, i-measure natin yung weight. Okay? So, ni basaltic at saka ni granitic rock. Then, sa yung container ninyo, lagan nyo ng 100 ml na water. At ito yung initial volume ninyo. Okay? Ano yung initial volume natin? 100 milliliters. Now, kunin ninyo yung bato, tie it on a string, tapos submerge nyo yan sa sa container na may tubig. Tapos, record the increase sa volume sa tubig. Okay? So, from 100 ml, syempre mag-i-increase yan kasi nilagyan yung yun ng bato. Okay? And from that, you measure it that, and yan yung final na volume. So, final na volume, you need to, what you call this, subtract that one sa ating initial volume so that you can have the overall volume ng inyong sample. Kaya ano yung sample natin? Yung granitic at saka yung basaltic. Now, you have the mass, you have the volume. So, from that, malalaman na natin yung density ni basaltic at saka ni granitic rock. Okay? So, record everything sa activity sheets ninyo. Your observation, ano yung na-observe ninyo dito kay basaltic at saka kay granitic, yung mass niya, yung final volume, okay, yung after na na-submerge niyo yung sample, yung volume difference, at saka yung density. Ano yung formula sa density? Mass over volume. Okay, now, ito yung mga essential questions na dapat nating sagutan. Okay, 1. What are your notable observations? 2. Based on the computed densities, what will happen when the oceanic crust collides with the continental crust? Okay? So, jot down your answers. I-comment nyo yung answers sa ating comment section sa ating video. Now, okay. So, let's try to discuss the answers. Okay. So, ano yung mga nakikay? Granitic rocks. Okay. From the experimentation, si basaltic rocks ninyo are actually denser and darker in color. Yes, mas darker po siya compared with that granitic. Yung mga granitic rocks naman are lighter in color and actually less dense. Okay? Yung mass ni basalt is generally heavier for the same volume compared to that granite. Okay? Kapag sinubmerge natin siya sa tubig, si basalt there, it will displace less volume relative to its mass, showing higher density. So, mas mataas yung density ni basalt compared kay granite. Okay? That's the answer for number 1. Let's have number 2. Based on the computed densities, what will happen when the oceanic crust collides with the continental crust? Okay? Kapag magko-collide silang dalawa. Diba? So, alam naman natin, si oceanic crust is basically basaltic types of rocks. So, mean to say, siya po yung bato na mas denser siya, okay? And it will what? It will sink beneath that continental crust na may granitic type of rocks. Okay? Correct ba tayo? Okay, correct na correct. Kaya, palakpakan natin yung sarili natin. Okay? So, to conclude, yung activity natin, it shows that basaltic rocks, yung oceanic crust natin, are denser than granitic rocks, yung mga continental crust. Okay. Because of this density difference, yung mga oceanic crust natin, if it will collide with the continental crust, si oceanic crust is siya po yung magsasabdak or magsisink beneath that lighter continental crust. So itong proseso na ito, it explains why subduction zones and related geological activities such as earthquakes and volcanic eruptions commonly occur at convergent boundaries. So, pag mag-collide silang dalawa, itong oceanic at saka itong continental, magkakaroon po tayo ng earthquakes at saka mga volcanic eruptions. Okay. So, itong activity na ito pwede niyo pong gawin. Okay? If you want to see pag nagko-collide, see oceanic at saka si continental crust. Okay. So, ano mga materials ang gagamitin natin? O, gamit kayo ng clay. Okay, dalawang color ng clay. Yung isang kulay is dark for oceanic crust, light naman for continental crust. Okay, kumuha kayo ng cardboard base. Okay, pwede kayo sa table, isang small box or tray para to support the model, markers so that you can label the parts, at saka optional na po itong toy volcano or paper cone for aesthetic purposes. Okay, now how do we do this? Okay, magpo-form tayo ng dalawang layers of clay. Yung isang layer is yung thin, na dark layer, yan po yung oceanic crust natin. Represents the basaltic type of rocks. Yung mas thicker naman, that is the light layer, representation of the continental crust natin. Okay. Place both layers on the cardboard base, tapos let them meet one side or meet sa one side. Push both of the crust slowly, tapos si oceanic crust, it will go under the continental crust to model subduction. And after that one, add labels para matatandaan ninyo. Okay? So, yan yung nangyayari kapag nagko-collide si oceanic at saka si continental crust. Alright, so tapos na tayo sa discussion natin. I hope marami kayong natutunan for our week 1 discussion. And now, for our 3-2-1 exit ticket natin, okay? Ilagay ninyo sa ComSec natin ano yung tatlong things na natutunan ninyo sa discussion natin na ito. Ano yung dalawang things that you like about the lesson? At ano yung isang question na nakakapagpagabag sa inyo at sasagutan ko kayo later on. Okay? So, get your responses, write your responses sa ating comment section. At saka, okay, let's reflect. Gawa kayo ng journal entry sa notebook ninyo. 3 to 4 sentences answering any of the following questions. Okay, hindi na any, sagutan nyo ng dalawa. Okay, letter A, how did I learn the topics that I think were easy? Paano nyo ba natutunan yung mga topics na na-discuss natin? Letter B, how should I learn the topics that I think are hard? So, paano ba kaya? Because you will use that one with our next sessions natin for weeks 2 up until to weeks 8. Okay. Share your ideas naman sa ating comment section. Okay, and that ends our session for week 1. I hope marami kayong natutunan, mga grade 8 learners natin. If meron kayong mga katanungan, ilagay nyo na lang po sa ating comment section. And this is the Bye-bye!